There we go. All right, so to start off our class today, all right, we're definitely going to talk about first Mailchimp, how you can actually set up an account, how you can then sign into it. We're even going to talk about some simple ways to actually import CSV files in here, and then we're also going to talk about how you can sync it with your KDB command platform and what exactly that's going to do in the future for you. All right, so Mailchimp, if you've never actually heard of it before, is just a little kind of CRM provider where you can actually send out email newsletters, all right, or e-blast, anything that you can actually do online. Very similar to Constant Contact. All right, this is going to be, I don't want to say identical, all right, but they're very, very similar at the end of the day. All right, but on here with Mailchimp, there is a free option for you to utilize. Now, as a KW agent, I do not know if they're going to come out with any type of, KW pricing or anything of that sort, where you can actually have, additional contacts added in or additional emails sent out. And Mailchimp actually just came out with a new pricing strategy. I believe they still have the forever free plan, though, so I'm going to double check on here. All right, so they do have all their different pricing strategies as well. All right, then they have a free one on here as well. All right, so that's perfect. I think you'll be good to go with this one. All right, yep, and exactly on here. So with the free one, you can actually send out you can have 2,000 contacts, and you should still be able to send out 12,000 emails each month. So let me just double check that for you real quick. All right, come on. There should be an option down here for emails. Oh, 10,000. They took it down 2,000. Well, at least that makes it a little bit easier to figure out. All right, so you can have 2,000 contacts and you can send out 10,000 emails. So that's perfect on here. All right, so with that being said, though, I just wanted to go back over that because they just changed that about 2 days ago. So this is perfect timing for this class. So at least it didn't change next week, and then this class will be outdated for it. All right, so in this case, to actually set up a Mailchimp account, it's extremely simple. All right, so once you go to Mailchimp.com, if you already have an account, you can click the login button. All right, if not, we're going to click that sign up for free option at the top right up here. Now, once again, you are not obligated to put inside credit card information. You don't have to sync anything up like that. All right, so I just want to give you a heads up. At the end of the day, this will be perfect for you. All right, so if I click on sign up free on here, for instance, perfect. All right, then we can actually put inside our email, what we'd like as our username, and then even our password. Now, to make it simple on here, and I created an email account just a second ago, actually, for this. All right, so hopefully it works. We're going to find out. All right, so I made a fake email address just for Mailchimp. Now, for your email, you'll obviously put inside whatever your email might be. And then for the username, I highly suggest putting inside your email address again, just to keep everything simple at the end of the day. All right, that'll make your life a lot easier. All right, so I'm going to paste that in again. And then for the password on here, very similar to your MyKW account, it does have to have one lowercase letter, one uppercase letter, one number, a minimum of 8 characters. Now, the only difference between Mailchimp and your MyKW password, though, is it does have to have a special character. All right, so what I typically suggest is if your current MyKW password does not have a special character, all right, so say, for instance, you're using, Keller123, so let me show this real quick. All right, so if I was using Keller123, for instance, as my MyKW password, if you notice everything's grayed out because this already has a capital letter, it's got a lowercase letter, it's over 8 characters, it has a number. All right, then what I typically suggest is just add like an exclamation point at the end. All right, then you'll be all good to go on there. All right, so that's what I usually suggest. Just put an exclamation point at the end, just so and jot it down, obviously, so you remember that, because some places do require that special character as well. Now, if you already have a special character inside your password, that's perfect too. You should be all good to go. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put inside mine real quick. All right, and then I'll click on Get Started on here. All right, and this will automatically set us up. All right, there we go. All right, so now check your email. We've sent a message to slmmailchimp@gmail.com. Obviously, on your account, it'll say we sent a message or an email to whatever your email address might be with a link to activate your account. Now, this is very crucial. You want to make sure you activate this as quick as possible. So I'm actually going to go to gmail.com. Hopefully, I've already signed out of my email. We're going to find out real quick. I have a better idea. Let's open that up over here inside this other screen because I didn't sign out of my email. All right, perfect. The joys of having 2 monitors. Awesome. All right, so let me sign out real quick, and then I can sign back in. I should have deleted all my internet history before this class. Come on, sign out. Sorry about that. Perfect. All right. So let me move this back over here now. Awesome. So if we go to Gmail, then we can sign in with our kw.com email, our Gmail account, our G Suite account, whatever it might be. All right, so in this case, I'm going to sign in with my email account. So I'm going to sign in with SLN Mailchimp, all right, at gmail.com. All right, and then I'm going to type inside my password too for my Gmail account. Oh, did I put in the wrong password? There we go. I was afraid for a second that the password I did previously when I set this up a second ago was not correct. So there you go. Alright, now it should send us over a verification email, and once again we'll want to check that immediately. Alright, so if we notice on here, yep, thank you so much, I appreciate you letting me know about my new Gmail account. Alright, so if we notice on here, we happen to have this Mailchimp email. Alright, so I've already got mine sent over because I just created the account. So activate your Mailchimp account. So once I actually click on this, alright, then as it says, we're glad you're here, here's my email address. Alright, and then I can activate that account immediately. Alright, so once I click on Activate Account, that is perfect. Now you will want to do that as quick as possible. I don't know the exact time that it'll actually time out for you. And there is a way where you can actually resend this activation email. It's a little funky. You actually have to do it from a specific URL, so if you need help with that, let us know. Alright, but once I click on Activate Account on here, and if you guys are able to activate your account right now, fantastic. Alright, sure, I will confirm I'm not a human. Let's see what I need to actually go through and click on here. Oh, that was simple enough. Alright, perfect. Alright, so in this case, I'm going to go through, and I'm going to say I'm going to do the Forever Free plan. Alright, or if you want to, then obviously you can do the Essential. There's the Standard option on here. Alright, so a bunch of different options that are available for you. Now, I'm just going to do the free one, though, so I can set this up immediately. Alright, so once I click on the Complete option on here, alright, we're all good to go. So as you can see, let's get started on here. Alright, so then I can put inside my information. So definitely you want to put inside your name. Alright, I'll put inside my last name too and click that Continue option. Alright, so that way we can set up just some of the basics on here of our Mailchimp profile. Awesome. Alright, what's the name of your business? I can put that in on here. Alright, then it's also going to ask if we have a website. Alright, so it wants the full URL. So I'm going to put this inside as well with the http:// alright, marketing.com. Alright, so you can put inside whatever URL you want to for your website. Alright, so I'm just going to fill out a couple of these items real quick. Nothing too crazy. Alright, so I'll click that Continue option. I'm going to pause for a second to make sure if you guys are doing this along with me, giving you plenty of time to actually do it with me as well. There you go. Alright, then the next one on here, fun street address stuff. Well, here are a bunch of different street addresses on here. That's not the one I need, though. Alright, so 424 East Central Boulevard, number 560, Orlando, Florida, 32801. There you go. Perfect. East Central. It's kind of hard. It's a weird directional one. I don't know. It's just where we are. Alright, so once I add that in, I'll click the Continue button on here too. Awesome. Alright, do you have a list of email subscribers? Alright, currently I'm going to say no on here, because if I say yes, it's going to ask me to actually upload that, and I'm going to talk about that in a second instead. Alright, so I'm going to say no on here. Alright, I'm going to click that Continue button. Alright, because if I click yes, if we notice, alright, how many email subscribers, then it's going to talk about this. Well, it might actually not ask us to add that in, but that's okay. Alright, and then you can even connect your social media accounts if you want to, so whenever you send out any of these emails, you can actually have the email automatically go to those social media accounts. So if you want to, you can link up Facebook and Twitter. Once again, you're not obligated to, but if you click this plus sign on here, it'll ask you just to sign in to your Facebook account, alright, and then you can link that up immediately, or also onto your Twitter account too. Alright, so I'm going to skip over that for the time being. Alright, and then we're done. Alright, so let's find your marketing path. Alright, so we can say, okay, let's do it, or no, not right now. So I'm going to click on no, not right now. Now, if you want to, you can definitely go through the okay, let's do it just to get an idea. But since at the end of the day, this is really going to be utilized for us to actually send out emails from the command platform, we won't really need to worry about it too much unless you actually want to go through here and add inside your own custom templates or anything like that. Alright, but all those different email campaigns are going to come through Mailchimp. Alright, all the different just email pieces you're going to send out will come through here too. Here we go. Alright, so account is ready. So you can, obviously subscribe if you want to. I'm just going to click the Let's Go option instead. Alright, so that way we don't have to worry about that. I get enough emails as is. I'll be all right. All right, so once we're in our backend, now we currently have our Mailchimp account set up. All right, so before we actually go any further on Mailchimp on here and talk about the different items that we have up here and what we can actually utilize, all right, then let's go over to agent.kw.com so we can log into our command account. All right, so we're going to go to agent.kw.com so we can log into our command account. All right, and so we can also go through here and sync up our Mailchimp account too. Here we go. All right, so I'm going to sign into my account on here. Remember, this is going to be the same password and username. I don't know why I went that way. Username and password as your MyKW account. All right, but once you put that inside and click the sign in button or the enter option, this is under agent.kw.com. There we go. All right, then this is going to take us to the back end of our command account. All right, now once again, this Mailchimp account is going to play very heavily inside some of our email campaigns on here. All right, obviously that's the biggest thing on there it'll play into. All right, and then even on our smart plans too. All right, so right now there's only one smart plan that's available. So if I click on smart plans, for instance, we're going to see there's only one that's available, and that's the individualized IDX site smart plan from like Kelly Guide set up for it. All right, so in this case, it's really just your kind of like neighborhood smart plan, all right, where any contacts you have inside your back end of command, you can actually send out a little monthly newsletter actually about their particular landing page for their neighborhoods. All right, now in order to do that, you have to have a Mailchimp account though. All right, so with that being said, I'm going to click my name up here at the top right. All right, and then I'm going to click on settings, that second option down. All right, so I'm going to click on settings, that second option down to access my settings immediately. Here we go. Awesome. All right, now if we see this on here, this is the main page we're going to focus on, all right, for this particular class, because it's going to have all of our applications that we can actually take a look at. Let me disconnect this real quick. There we go. All right, so under our applications, we'll see all of our current connected applications, but then if we scroll down a little bit further, all right, right down here, we're going to have email marketing at the bottom. All right, manage drip campaigns and mailers through Mailchimp. All right, so we're going to click that Connect Account option, or if it hasn't been connected already, so I'm going to click on Connect Account. There we go. All right, and then as you can see on here, connect Keller Williams Realty Inc. to your account. Keller Williams Realty Inc. is an American technology and international real estate franchise. It's interesting that they give that to you on there. All right, but I'm going to go ahead and put inside my username, and this is why I suggest putting inside your email address just to keep it simple. All right, and then we're going to put inside our Mailchimp password. All right, so that's the big one on here. We want to put inside our Mailchimp password. All right, and once we click that login option, that'll sign us in immediately. All right, and that's going to sync everything up. So I logged it in. All right, and then if it comes back over to our command settings, hopefully this will pop up in a second. All right, then it's actually going to have our Mailchimp synced up, and we are all good to go. All right, so let me see if I can refresh this real quick. Awesome. All right, so I refreshed the page. It looks like it just timed out for a second. And as I can see now, I happen to have my slmmailchimp@gmail.com account linked up on here for command. So now whenever I start to send out any of those smart plans, specifically currently the only smart plan right now as of May 17th. All right, so obviously the neighborhood smart plan, it's going to start to send out from Mailchimp. All right, and we'll happen to have that linked up on there. Whenever the email campaigns come out and we want to send those out, then obviously this is going to go through Mailchimp too. All right, or of course on Sketchhouse, if we create any type of email piece that we want to then just mass blast out, all right, this will come over as well. All right, so once we do that, then automatically this is synced up and we are now all good to go. Now I can imagine, since you're obviously going through here and at the end of the day, you're going to have all your contacts inside the back end, you're going to be able to create all your pieces underneath, Sketchhouse, you got your email campaign section, here's Sketchhouse on here. All right, you don't really have to worry too much at the end of the day about Mailchimp, just to give you a heads up. All right, because you don't really have to go through here and set up, the different templates, because that's going to pull over from command. All right, you really don't have to set up your audience either, because once again, that should also pull over from command too very soon. All right, but at the end of the day, if you do want to actually utilize anything on here, or maybe for instance something changes and it doesn't pull over from command, especially the audience, all right, let's talk about a couple of these items on here too. Alright, so first thing first, you're going to have your campaign section, and this is going to pop up right when you sign into Mailchimp, and this is where you can actually find all the different campaigns you currently have running. Alright, so at the end of the day, whenever you have an email campaign running through command, this is where it's going to display right on the home page for you. Alright, and then obviously you'll see it over in command too, but in case you log into your Mailchimp account, it should pop up. Now you'll also happen to have your template section, so this is where you can actually view all the different templates that are currently being used in Mailchimp for you to utilize. And of course, there is a create option up here at the top right where you can actually go through and create this immediately. Alright, you'll also have your audience section on here too. Alright, so that way whenever you have your audiences set up on here, then you can actually add them over to your email campaign section. Alright, right now it is specifying on the email campaigns that you do have to have, lists set up on here in order to actually move that over to your campaigns on command. But I can imagine very soon that it'll sync up with your command contacts instead. Alright, and then of course there are reports on here as well, and then even a content studio. Alright, so that way if you want to actually take a look at all of your, images and content, you can. Now once we actually click on the template section on here, alright, this is where we can actually view all the different templates if we want to create any. Now once again, I know I've said this countless times, everything's going to be through KDB Command, but at the end of the day, if you want to create something through Mailchimp too, you're definitely more than welcome to. Alright, you can actually click the Create Template option up here at the far right, or the top right, I guess is a good way of saying it. And then it's going to give you a bunch of different options to how you can actually create this. Now very similar to Sketchhouse, it's going to be HTML. Alright, and that's what you want it to be, so that way people can actually see everything, on their tablets, on their smartphones, on their desktop, laptops. Alright, but then it's also going to be a drag and drop function too. Alright, so very similar to Sketchhouse, you'll be able to drag certain items over, you'll be able to add in certain items too. It's fantastic how you can set this up. So if I click on Create Template, for instance, alright, then we can actually go through, we can see, hey, here's some layouts we can currently utilize, here's some different themes we could use, or if you're a big-time computer fan, alright, then you can actually code your own if you happen to know HTML as well. Alright, more than likely you might not want to utilize that, and that's okay. Alright, then we'll just use the layout section. Alright, and on here you can actually see some of the different featured ones or some of the basic ones too. Alright, and the good part about this is even under basic, for instance, like this is the main one I always utilize. Alright, it'll just have one column, it'll have one column full width, and I like to do the full width one even though the main template we utilize actually isn't full width. Alright, in this case I like that because then it takes up the entire screen. And then if I send it out, and it'll automatically be responsive, obviously for a phone or for a tablet, it'll fill up the entire screen on there too. Alright, but then you can see they have half columns full width, one column by two columns by one column. Alright, they have a bunch of different options on here too. Alright, so just to take a look at this and to give you an idea as to how you can play around with it if you want to. Alright, once I click on like the one column full width, for instance, alright, this is just going to give us a little bit of an idea. Here's where you might want to put your logo. Alright, here's where you can design your email on here with the text. And if you notice, then you can actually come up here where it has the little 9 dots. Alright, you can actually put your cursor on that to drag this around as well so you can move everything around. Alright, but very similar to Sketchhouse, you're going to see right over here, here's some content options that you can add in too. Alright, so if I want to delete these certain items, alright, maybe I just want to add inside an image that I want to send out, I can drag that image over, and I can add it in immediately, and then I can upload whatever image I might want to. Alright, so completely up to you at the end of the day. Alright, or I can even add inside a text section on here too if I want to add that back in. Alright, then it'll give me all the text editing tools as well. So I'm literally just holding down with my left mouse button and dragging it over so I can actually reformat this template to utilize. Alright, now once again, all of this will be done through Sketchhouse, but in case you ever want to do it through Mailchimp, you can too. Alright, so as you can see on here, that we can actually go through and tweak our text. We can bold, italicize, underline. We can, obviously hyperlink any text we have on here. We can change the font color, the background color. Alright, we can obviously change the alignment on here too. So similar stuff that you'll typically see over inside like an email provider like Gmail, for instance. Alright, so almost identical on here. Alright. So outside of that, I just want to show you where you can actually go through and kind of tweak everything. And then of course you can also see your design section on here too. Alright, so if you want to change, how the page design is set up for the page on here, or the pre-header, the header, the body. Alright, we're able to go through and change anything we want to. Alright, so if I want to change this out to be red, for instance, we can see how the background will change on there. Alright, so completely up to you if you want to actually change the design of the entire piece too. Alright, so I'm going to go through, I'm just going to put on here just add something in. Here is my text test text for my Mailchimp class on 5/17. There we go. Alright, and then below here I can even add inside an image if I want to, so I'm going to browse and add an image real quick. Alright, we can see if there are any current images on here. I can even pull up Instagram. Alright, I can pull up, Giveify, products on here I might have, but in this case I'm going to upload. There we go. Alright, so once I click on upload, I can find wherever it might be, so I'm going to use a good friend of mine, his old vacation home actually on here. So I'm going to use this little home option on here. Perfect. Now once you actually upload your image, alright, then once you're inside the Content Studio, alright, just go and click on that image, alright, because once you actually upload it, you'll then need to click on it and click the Insert button to actually add that in. Alright, so I want to make sure that you click on that and then click Insert so it'll add it in immediately on there. Alright, but then you can go through, you can see if you want to replace it, if you want to edit it, add inside a link, you can add inside alternate info. Alright, completely up to you at the end of the day. Alright, but this is all good to go. I'm just adding in a little test on here. Nothing too crazy. Alright, and then of course if you ever go through and you want to save everything, alright, then you can just click the Save and Exit option down here. Now one thing about Mailchimp, there is a video section on here too. Now if I add inside the video on here though, if you notice, it's then going to ask for the video URL. Alright, so in this case your video preview image will link to this URL. Alright, so preview images are generated automatically for YouTube and Vimeo URLs. Alright, if not, then you can obviously add inside if you're using a different provider, some type of, image to upload, and then you can add that in too. Alright, so if I wanted to, I could actually go over to youtube.com. Alright, so I'm going to go to youtube.com/Keller Williams. Alright, and I'm going to pull over an example of one of theirs to see exactly what this would look like. Alright, because a lot of people are asking, oh, are you able to send out videos or anything through command quite yet? Alright, so currently you're obviously not able to quite yet. A lot of people keep asking about, like, BombBomb or anything of that sort. Alright, but on here, oh, this just came out, that's cool. Alright, they have a new lobby loop on here. Alright, so if I go ahead and utilize this, I can copy this URL up here. Alright, so I'm going to copy that URL real quick. Alright, and then once I come back over here, I can paste inside that URL immediately. Now, if you notice that it automatically, because this is YouTube, it'll pull up this URL. It's going to have the little play button on there. I'm sorry I chose the one that has a thumbnail where it's kind of hard to see the play button on here, unfortunately. Alright, but there's a little circle with the play option on there. Alright, then we can even put inside our text down here, too. Alright, so in this case, I might just copy what they have on here just to make it simple. Oh, we're going to go back. Alright, so I want to make sure that this is white so it stands out. Alright, MC lobby loop. Probably should have just typed it out now I'm looking at it. That's okay. There we go. Alright, and I can even change the size on here too. Make it a little bit smaller. Alright, so you are able to actually add inside videos. Technically, it's going to be an image of the video with a, a hyperlink button on there that'll then take them over to wherever you want to, show the video. But at the end of the day, this will still be an option for you too. Alright, so I'm just going to click that Save and Exit button down here at the bottom right, though. Alright, so once I click on Save and Exit, there we go. Alright, then I can put inside whatever I want to name my template on here. So I'm going to put this in as text template dash Mailchimp. There you go. Alright, I'm going to save that real quick so it'll save it immediately for me. Alright, now if I ever want to come back to this, I can always access it again later under my templates section. So now we can actually see this has been updated on May 17th at 1:31 p.m. Eastern Time. Alright, I can come through, I can edit this later on. If I click the drop down, I can actually create a campaign off of this. I can preview it. I can export the HTML. Alright, if I want to upload it somewhere else. I can share this as well, or I can even replicate it if I like the design of it, but I want to tweak it a little bit further. Alright, and then I can actually tweak it for something else. Alright, or of course at the end of the day, you can always click on this, and you can click the delete button too. Now the one thing I really like about this though, that a lot of platforms don't have, alright, is in this case, whenever you actually try to delete something, then it says you're about to delete it, confirm this by typing inside delete. Alright, so I really like that, because then they actually tell you, hey, you're going to delete this. We want to make sure that you're clear of what you're about to do. Alright, so I really like that on here. Alright. Now the other really big item though that you're going to have on here that I'd highly suggest taking advantage of right now is the audience section. So I'm going to go and click on this audience section up here. Alright, this is where you can actually add inside your contacts. Now once again, I'm sure very soon the contacts that are over inside command will sync up on here as well. Alright, but on the email campaign section, alright, sometimes it will pull up, hey, which list do you want to send this out to? Alright, it might actually pull up this particular list on here as well. Alright, so if you want to also upload your contacts over to Mailchimp, you're more than welcome to. Now, unlike Command, unlike eEdge, or unlike some other, typical CRMs, you can actually just import a CSV file on here, and then you can actually format it however you want to. Alright, so in this case, I'm actually going to go back over to mykw.kw.com. Hopefully I'm not signed into anything right now. If not, I'll sign out real quick. Awesome, I'm not. Fantastic. Alright, so I'm going to sign into my account real quick. Alright, and say for instance I want to move over my eEdge contacts once I'm inside MyKW. Alright, I could actually click on the My Contacts section and click on that View Contacts option. And the reason I'm actually moving over my contacts inside eEdge is because there's actually not an option to export your contacts from command quite yet. Alright, that is something that they're working on right now that should be coming out very soon. Alright, but if I click on View Contacts for instance, alright, then this will take me to the back end of my eEdge account. Alright, then if I have contacts back over here that I want to import, I can actually, hold on one second, here we go. Thank you. Alright, I can actually click on the contacts option at the top up here. Alright, and I can select import/export contacts so I can export these immediately. Alright, so I'm going to export these contacts right away. Alright, once I click on Import/Export, this is where I could import the contacts, but since I want to import them to Mailchimp, I'm going to export them from eEdge real quick. I'm going to select the All option on here for the contact status. I'm going to leave my groups blank. Now, obviously, if you want to import certain groups, from here to kind of keep those lists the same, you're definitely more than welcome to. I'm going to click my Export option on here, so I can go ahead and save this and export it right away. Alright, and that's all you have to do, which is the best part about it. Because then if we come over to our audience section on here, right on here it says this audience has one contact, one of them are subscribed. Alright, so in this case, probably myself. Alright, so then I can actually import my contacts. Alright, over here I can connect a site if I want to, I can add contacts, create a landing page. Alright, but at the very top up here, outside of just importing contacts, I can also add contacts as well. Alright, so if I click on Manage Audience, I can add a subscriber, which is their way of saying add a contact. Alright, I can import contacts, I can use sign-up forms, alright, I can manage my contacts, view my settings, or even view my entire audience. Alright, so outside of just adding in a subscriber or a contact, just like an individual contact, I'm going to click on Import Contacts so I can bulk import all these contacts. Now once again, that template that we have for eEdge that I just exported, that's perfect. Alright, because once I click on Import Contacts, alright, it's going to say right up here, how do you want to import the contacts? Do I want to do a CSV or tab delimited file? That's exactly what I want to do. Alright, do I want to copy and paste from a file and not really on here? Do I want to integrate services? Alright, you can if you want to. There's a couple different ones where you can automatically move it over. Alright, so if I click on Continue to Setup though, alright, then I can actually browse on here to pull up my CSV file. Alright, so I'm going to click the Browse button. Go to my downloads on here. I always like doing classes on this laptop because I can see what I may have pulled up on here that I don't need anymore. So there we go. Alright, so I can delete a couple items on there. Alright, here's my CSV file that I can actually just pull up and import. Alright, so I'm going to click on this on here. Get that ready to go. Alright, and as you can see, duplicate addresses will be removed. Do not send confirmation emails to imported addresses and trust that you've gathered proper permission to send to every address on your list. Alright, so once I click on Continue to Match, alright, then this is where, instead of having to put it inside like the command CSV file or put it inside the market leader CSV file, alright, it's actually going to say, hey, let's go ahead and just match this up with what exactly it is that's inside your CSV file, so we can import that immediately. Alright, so in this case, it's automatically going to see some of the different, first column on there and see, hey, oh, this is the first name that was in your first column. This is the last name that was in your second column. So we've already set that up for you. Alright, then for the other columns on here, like nickname or home, anything like that. Alright, I probably don't need to go through any of those, so I can skip them if I want to. Or I can just take a look on here, like here's the cell phone, for instance. So I could click on Edit on here. Alright, and for the phone number, I can actually go through and I can, if we notice, there's not a phone option on here because everything is email-based, but I can even create a new field on here. Alright, so I'm going to create this as cell phone. And I can save that immediately. There we go, so we're now all saved. Alright, and you can actually go through and update any of these on here that you want to. Alright, so on here, for instance, like time frame, anything that you want to actually add in, you could technically do that by just creating that custom field on here. Alright, but since many of these, we just need the email address at the end of the day for Mailchimp, I don't really need to worry about too much of this. So it's already gotten the first name, the last name, and the email address, so we're pretty much good to go on there. Alright, so then we have 30 unmatched columns in this case, so I can click on Skip All on here. Alright, so if I skip all of them, then it's automatically going to skip over the ones that I didn't specify to save, or that weren't already linked up, like that first name, last name, and email address were synced up. Alright, so once I click on Continue to Organize, there we go. Alright, then we can actually create a tag on here. Alright, so very similar to actually creating something, like a tag over inside Command or a group inside eEdge. Very similar on here, so I'm going to put inside eEdge Contacts. That's going to be my tag for this one. Oh, hold on. So I just created a new tag for it. Alright, I can choose what they are, if they're subscribed, unsubscribed, non-subscribed, or clean. So typically subscribed is what you'll have on here. Alright, and then as you can see, update existing contacts. Alright, so we're good to go on here. We're perfect. Alright, so once I click on Continue to Review, alright, then we're ready to import. So as you can see, import method is selected. We've got 5 of the 35 columns ready to go. We have our tags applied. We've got the status of the contacts ready to go. So once I click on Import, that's just going to import for me immediately. Alright, so I only added inside 7 contacts, so it didn't take very long to import this by any means. Alright, but if I scroll down a little bit further, then I can actually see, here are all the different contacts that I added in. And then, of course, here's my main contact, which is the one I'm utilizing for my email. Alright, but then I can see the tags over here, too. That'll make it a little bit easier whenever I'm actually trying to send out a mass email. Alright, but everything automatically imported for me. We've got the email address, we got the first name, the last name. Looks like the address is had it on here for that SLM Mailchimp. We got phone number, birthday, cell phone. Alright, so we have a couple different items that were automatically in here. Alright, and that's how simple it is to actually go through and utilize this. Alright, so it's that simple at the end of the day. Alright, and the final thing I want to show you guys on here too for Mailchimp is if we click on the campaigns option. I was about to say command option. Click on the campaigns option on here. This is where all of your campaigns would display. Alright, so if I click on create campaign up here at the top right, for instance, alright, then I could go through, I could actually create a brand new email campaign. I could create an ad, a landing page, a postcard, a social post, a sign-up form. Alright, so most of the time there will typically be an email option on here. Alright, you can even name that campaign too. Now this is where all of your command campaigns, God that's hard to say, your command campaigns will display on here. So I'm just going to put inside command campaign. I'll click begin on here. Alright, so you don't have to do this, I'm just doing this as an example real quick, but as you can see then it's going to specify who are we sending it to, who is this sending from, what's the subject, what's the content. Alright, so on here, who are we sending it to? Well, then I can actually choose an audience on here, and I have my Scott Leroy Marketing contacts ready to go. Alright, and then inside here, I can actually specify, hey, what type of segment or tag do I want? Well, I happen to have my tag set up for eEdge contacts, so I could send this out to the eEdge ones instead, so it'll go out to those 7. Alright, so I'll click Save on here. Alright, we know it's coming from Scott at slmmailchimp@gmail.com, and of course, obviously, you can edit this as well. Alright, so maybe I want to change this to say Scott Leroy Marketing. Alright, we can update the subject, we can even update the content on here too, or we can actually pull one of the templates we've created, or we can create a template on the fly. Alright, so completely up to you guys. And then once this is done, you can actually schedule this to send out at a specific time, you can send it immediately, alright, or you can just save it and finish it later too. Alright, so I just want to give you a heads up on how simple it is to actually utilize that on Mailchimp at the end of the day. Alright. So I'm going to log out of that real quick. So the final thing that I want to just make sure you guys have all set up. Alright, so I want to make sure that on here, I know we talked about it earlier and we did it, but I want to make sure that I go over the importance of having this Mailchimp account that we just created linked up under your settings section. Alright, so make sure you click on your name at the top right, select settings on here. Alright, and then once you do that, make sure that under the connected apps, you have your Mailchimp option set up on here and connected. Alright, this is going to be very crucial for your email campaigns and any of your just one-off emails. Alright, because if I go to email campaigns on here, for instance, alright, it should allow us to go through and create this very soon. Alright, but then I can actually see my list on here, and if you notice from our list, alright, here's the Scott Leroy Marketing list that we have over inside Mailchimp, because we have that synced up, and here are the 8 contacts on there. Alright. So in this case, I could then create a list that would automatically update it over inside Mailchimp too. Alright, or I could even create these campaigns, and hopefully very soon, alright, the campaign option will be available right away for us to select a template and everything. Alright, so that's going to be very crucial for you to actually utilize on here in the very near future. Alright, so I just want to make sure that we have this set up now, and why it's important to actually have Mailchimp set up, especially for your command platform, because at the end of the day, that is going to be used for your email provider. So there we go. Alright, so that's going to be it for our Mailchimp 101 class today.